Hello, my name is Melanie. Welcome to your hips class. Now this was requested by a very good friend of mine, you know who you are, and I'm really excited to teach this class because we tend to hold so much stress in our hips, especially like our hips and shoulders are where we tend to hold stress that we haven't wanted to deal with, and that's why we tend to get really tight in our shoulders and our hips. So this class is going to hopefully open you up. We'll do a little bit of strength exercises for your glutes, because that is also really important for hip health. It's not just about stretching and opening, it's also about getting the muscles around those areas to become a little bit more strong so they can bear the brunt of stressors that you might otherwise hold in your hips. So let's get started. I hope you enjoy. So we'll go ahead and get started lying down on your back. Go ahead and lie down on your back. Oh, I forgot my music. I always forget my music. Hold on. Music is nice. Turn it up just a tad. Okay. Okay, try this again. Go ahead and lay down on your back. Allow your feet to stretch out in front of you. Now, I'm obviously in a very tight space. My daughter's sleeping in the other room, so this is all I've got. So bear with me. Okay. So go ahead and lay down on your mat, relax your body. Feel the weight sinking into the floor beneath you. Just take a couple breaths here to get centered, to get present. With each exhale, you can let go of whatever's not serving you. Maybe judgment about yourself or someone else. Maybe thinking about what you're going to do after this class or something that happened earlier. You'll be fine if you let that all go. You don't need that right now. And go ahead and keep your left leg nice and long. And bend into your right knee. Place your hands, go ahead and hug your right knee to your shoulder. And begin to move your knee, your femur, left and right, beginning to lubricate your hip where that femur attaches. Maybe even move it in circles. Just kind of letting your body feel the extent of your hip, what your hip does, how it attaches to your leg. Okay, and then go ahead and grasp the outside of your right foot with your right hand. We're going to come into half happy baby here. And so when you do that, you may find a tendency to sort of want to roll over to that side, get some momentum going. There's a couple options. You can either place your hand atop your the left side of your hip and sort of press it on down while simultaneously pulling your foot down towards your right shoulder in order to get that stretch, that half happy baby stretch. Or you can also let your left arm hang to the side and engage your left core muscles to pull your left belly down toward the mat. That'll kind of balance things out. A couple breaths here. Allowing your right knee to sink a little bit closer to the ground. And then gently allow your right leg to lay next to your left. Take a moment just to notice the differences, if any, between your two legs. Then we'll go ahead and take it on the left side. So bend into your left knee and then clasp your knee with your left hand. Begin just by rocking your leg. You can use both hands if you like. Rocking your left leg side to side. Again, feeling now your left femur, how it sits in your hip socket. Maybe roll in circles. And again, this is just to sort of lubricate, get your hips ready for this class today. And then this time, clasp the outside of your left foot with your left hand, and then allow just natural gravity to pull your left knee toward your left elbow. Once again, right hand you can either place your right hand atop your right hip, press that down, or just engage your belly muscles in order to encourage them down towards your mat on the right side to gain that balance there. A couple more breaths here. Where can you let go of any tension you're holding in your left hip? And allow your left leg to move even closer to the ground. The exhale is such a great opportunity to just let go a little bit more. You're letting go of oxygen, you're letting go of air. You can also let go of tension, you can let go of control. That is always available to you. And then go ahead and allow your left leg to come on next to your right. Just lay here for a breath. Bend into both of your knees. Place your feet on the mat beneath you. We're going to go into a little bridge pose here. So bend your knees enough so that you can lightly touch your heels with your middle finger. So about there. And then your feet will be about hip width distance apart. And the difference between this bridge versus other ones is we're not looking for a real back bend here. Instead, on your inhale, one vertebrae at a time, starting with your tailbone, begin to lift yourself on up and think of pressing your hip bones toward the ceiling rather than bending your back a ton. So you can do this by really pressing into the heels of your feet. And think of pressing your thighs up toward the ceiling versus pressing your back up toward the ceiling. Okay, allow your hands to hang by your sides. Press a little bit more firmly into your feet. You'll feel your glute muscles start to tighten. That's a good thing. No problem strengthening those glute muscles, right? So one more inhale here. And then exhale, start with your cervical spine, so your upper back will begin to kiss the mat beneath you, and you'll roll down slowly like a snake, one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Take a breath here. We're going to take that one more time. So on your inhale, begin to lift your tailbone on up, slowly pulling the rest of your spine on up. Remember, really dig your heels into the ground beneath you. As your femur bones begin to rise on up, you can tighten those glute muscles to press them up a little bit more. Relax your shoulders. Remember, not going into a super crazy back bend here. Okay, can you press into those feet just a little bit more to raise those thighs a little bit closer to the ceiling? One more inhale. And then exhale, starting with your upper back, your cervical spine, one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way down to your mat. Beautiful. Then allow your feet to walk to the width of your mat, so nice and wide. And allow your knees to come together at the middle, constructive rest or fallen bridge, as I've heard it called. I think it's kind of cute. One inhale here. And then exhale, keep your feet exactly where they are and allow your knees to fall over to the right side. So this will be a bit of a twist here. I can really feel this in my hip on the top right here, the psoas muscle. If you want to increase your twist, you can look over towards your left side. Let go of any tension. Your next inhale, begin to pull your knees towards center again, and then allow them to fall over toward the left side. This time you can look over towards your right, or keep your head looking at the ceiling, whatever feels more appropriate for you right now. Inhale your knees towards center once more. And pull both knees to your chest. We take some circles here. Massage out your lower back. And take circles the other direction. Then you can begin to rock and roll your way up to a seated position, or you can also roll onto your left side or your right side, press yourself on up, but we're gonna go into a downward facing dog here. Go ahead, straight into down dog. So lift your heels on up toward the mat beneath you. Press into your thumb a little bit more than the rest of your fingers, and that will encourage your shoulders to be more accurately in a place that won't cause them strain, you might notice. So that way you're using your muscle instead of your shoulders. Nice big breath here. Lift your right leg all the way to the sky, and then bend into your right knee and allow your right leg to stack over your left. Get a nice stretch here. So reach that right leg kind of toward the ground in order to feel a more intense stretch. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly begin to pull that right knee all the way through. Place it in between your hands for a high lunge. We're gonna come all the way up to a high lunge now. Inhale, high lunge. So come on up and then bend your front knee as quite a bit, so there's about a 90-degree angle here. You might feel a stretch in your left psoas muscle right here. That feels a little bit strange. You can go ahead and bend into that knee and then lengthen it. Okay, on your next inhale, begin to bend your left knee toward the mat. Right before it hits, right before it hovers, come on all the way back up. Woo, yeah, a little bit of strength right here. You can do this, okay? Inhale, knee toward the mat. Exhale, press into that right foot to raise that left knee all the way back up again. One more time. Inhale, left knee toward the mat, excuse me. Hover here for just a moment. Take a breath here. Woo, and exhale. Go ahead and let that left knee come all the way back up. Okay. Inhale here, reach toward the sky. And then exhale, use your hands to frame your right foot. Step on back to plank. Then we're gonna go ahead and go to the other side. So now left foot, go ahead and step toward the center, in between your hands. And inhale all the way on up. Go ahead and settle in here. Take a couple of breaths. Bend into that left knee. So it's about a 90-degree angle. You can bend into your right leg to get that right, and then go ahead and lengthen your right knee. So inhale here. Exhale, hover that right leg toward the mat, that right knee. Woo. Okay, once more, inhale. Right knee hovers. Exhale, all the way back on up. You can do this one more time. Inhale, hover. Stay here for one more breath. Woo. And exhale, nice job. Inhale, get a little bit taller here. Exhale, go ahead and frame that left foot. Step your left foot on back to plank. And then go ahead and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Very nice. Take a breath here. Oh, exhale. Allow your heart to reach toward your thighs. Inhale, lift your left leg all the way up. And exhale, go ahead and bend into that left leg. Stack your knee upon, stack your left leg, your left hip atop your right. Feel into that stretch, reaching that left foot a little bit more toward the ground to get that twist, get that stretch. Inhale. And exhale as you pull your knee towards your belly, step all the way through. And then go ahead and walk your hands toward the side of your mat. Hello. And we'll take a forward bend here. Whatever feels good for you right now. So your toes are angled toward the side of your mat. This is just a wide-legged forward fold. One more breath. Okay. Now go ahead and press into your hands and then angle your feet so that they're faced out ever so slightly, maybe about like 10 o'clock. And then your heels will be facing toward the center. Come on up, one hand, then the other. Go ahead and bend into those knees, get as low as you can. We're gonna let go for goddess pose. So goal post your arms here, and then just sit in the fire. You might be starting to shake. That's perfectly normal. Can you get just a little bit lower? I promise this is so good for your hips to work on these muscles right now. Stay right here. You got this. One more inhalation. And exhale. Star pose. Reach your arms all the way up, making kind of X shape here. Woo, nice and tall. And then exhale, once again, forward fold. Allow your toes to angle toward the side of your mat again, like before. And this time, we're gonna take downward dog facing arms. So walk your arms on out, and then take a downward dog pose with your upper body while your legs remain nice and wide. Very nice. Feel the beat of your heart. Okay, go ahead and walk your hands underneath you once more. And then walk your hands around towards your right foot. You'll angle both of your toes toward the right edge of your mat. And step on back to downward facing dog. Step your right leg back. One breath here. And exhale. Lift your right leg all the way to the sky, toes facing toward your mat. And then exhale, we're gonna come into pigeon pose. So pull your right leg through, place your right knee behind your right wrist. And then this is, you have to kind of listen to your body here, but you'll place your left knee down, walk your foot back. Usually I use my left toes and my knee to walk my foot back a little bit, and then come atop my left toes. You can stay here. This is a really good stretch for your hips. You can come all the way down. This feels a little awkward. You can also place a blanket or a block underneath your right hip, and that'll ease some tension a bit for you. Or if this is just totally inaccessible for you, you can also come to a figure 4 type of position. So that's when you're laying down on your back. And by the way, any of these is fine. The idea is just to get some space in your hips. So I encourage you to meet yourself where you are. So you can lie all the way down on your back and place your right ankle atop your left thigh, and then reach through that kind of figure 4 you've created here. Clasp the back of your left thigh, and then pull your left thigh towards you until you feel a stretch in your right hips. So either pigeon or figure 4 is wonderful here. And this is a wonderful opportunity to really sink into the pose. Really notice what can you let go of? Where are you still holding tension? Where are you still working harder than you need to? Where can you use your exhale to sink deeper into your mat? You're in pigeon pose. Begin to lift yourself on up, placing your palms atop your mat. Go ahead and tuck your left back toes and then press yourself on up in order to create space to pull your right leg on through. Inhale, reach your right leg all the way to the sky. You might want to take some shakes or movements right here, whatever feels good. It's a pretty intense stretch. If you're on your back in your figure 4 shape, you'll go ahead and just switch sides, right? And if you're in your down dog, still shaking out your leg, maybe go ahead and place your right leg all the way back down. We'll move to the other side. So left leg up to the sky, toes facing the mat. And then exhale to pull your left leg on through. Left knee behind left hand, right foot behind right hand. And then you can use your toes to deepen your experience, lengthen your right leg. And you can also place a blanket or a block right here. That'll help you with some stability. Either stand up here, come all the way down. Once again on this side, notice where you can let go of your thoughts, let go of how you think it should look or should feel. Perhaps take a body scan here and notice where you're still holding tension, pressing into the ground in some way. Maybe see if you can allow yourself to sink down even heavier into your mat, which would require more letting go of something that you're holding on to. If you're in pigeon pose, once again, walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your right toes this time. And then lift your left leg all the way through. Maybe shake it out a bit. Place it back down on the mat. If you're in figure 4 pose, come on up. Either way, come on up. Gently, kindly. Hero's pose, place your hands atop your thighs. Allow your eyes to close just for a moment. Take a nice deep breath through your nose, all the way to the top. Exhale through your mouth. And that is your hips class for today. I hope you feel more open. Hope you feel stronger. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.